Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. A very happy day to you. Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I myself am Dr. Cush. We are here today to do the impossible. We are going to try and do an entire another show, a whole nother year, in an Irish accent. So that's what we're doing. I found out today from calling me Pa, which is the day of his birth today. He was able to look up me lineage, tell me exactly what my Irish ties are, how Irish are these eyes. Turns out 11%. So I don't know if that's where the accent comes from. I get about 11% of the accent going, and from there we do it. But this is the annual day where we celebrate St. Patrick's Day by putting on the absolute worst Irish accent we can possibly get, losing it halfway through the show, drinking our way through it, finding it again, and then from there, we have a good time. Welcome everybody, and very glad to have you here. We are going to be today making a couple cocktails, both of them with our good friend and sponsor of the show today, Guinness. They haven't sent us any money. In fact, I had to buy the Guinness, so not exactly sure what a sponsor does yet. Don't have many sponsors at this point, but we'll also be doing a bit of a taste test. If you're wondering, oh my goodness, what kind of Irish whiskey should I buy, as it is the eve of St. Patrick's Day? What kind of Irish whiskey should I buy? Should we go with, oh gosh, let's go ahead and wrap that focus. There we go. What a day. What a day, what a victory we've had today, making sure that everything's all in perfect focus. What type of Irish whiskey should I buy? Plenty of options. I found 3 of them very easily, not hard at all. They weren't hiding like the leprechaun hides its gold. In fact, they were just sitting out by the place where I bought my Guinness. This right here is the most popular Irish whiskey in the entire world. This is Jameson. Right here, a newcomer to the game. One that maybe some of you have heard of, a guy named Conor McGregor. He's a great Irishman, a great fighter, and also he's in the UFC, so he fights professionally as well. Certainly not professionly as it goes. And then we got this one right here. This is Kilburn. Kilburn, by far, and by far I mean about a quarter of the price of everything else. This is a fairly cheap Irish whiskey. So we're going to be trying the 3. Is it always worth it going with Jameson, or should you spend a little bit more for a little bit of celebrity endorsements? Oh, name me a more famous Irishman than Conor McGregor. He says it's all right. Well, then that's what we go. And then the Kilburn. Can you go cheap on your Irish whiskey? Is that a wise thing to do, as the great Irishman Robert Burns once said? Is he Irish? Might have been Scottish. I think he's Scottish. Can't get those confused. As the great Irishman James Joyce, I believe, once said something indecipherable in 43 different languages. He said, maybe buy a cheaper one. I think James Joyce did say that. So that's what we'll be doing today. So first of all, let me say top of the morning to everybody that's here. A lot of you here already. My goodness. It seems like I am certainly found the pot of gold when it comes to having people showing up early to the show. Hopefully the Irish accent won't throw everybody off and have you all move. My goodness, am I still scrolling up to get to the top of it? I am. All right, here we go. First of all, from our good friend and Irishman for the day, Moose. Moose. Is that, can you say moose in an Irish accent? Moose. Moose. Good to see you there, pal. Hopefully, Moose turns out one day closer to St. Patrick's Day than the rest of us. Do you celebrate St. Patrick's Day out where you are, Moose? Tell us in the comments here. Comment away in the chat, I suppose it's called. A top of the evening to you as well, and Sláinte also to our friend Shawnee Panabaker. Not if that's not an Irish name. I don't know what could possibly be an Irish name. Shawnee Panabaker coming to us live from wherever Shawnee Panabaker is. Good evening to you from the great Irish Lake of Tahoe. Everyone loves the old Irish Lake of Tahoe. Good to see you there, our good friend Bon Bon. Hey, both of the husbands are here. Winners of the 2024 Cush Tucky Derby. If we're doing our Irish show, that means the Cush Tucky Derby is coming up. I believe it's the first Saturday in May. So the hopefully somebody can, dethrone the... Already started to lose the accent. So we can dethrone the husbands, and we can have a new winner. Let's see what else we got here. We have MJ husband. That's he's one of the two husbands. Imagine having two husbands. You'd never get anything done, I don't assume. Amy Beer. Who more Irish than Amy Beer? I doubt it. I highly doubt you can be more Irish than Amy Beer, unless, of course, your name was Amy Whiskey. And that turns out not your name, and that's fine. Tiki Tom is here. Tiki and Irish go right next to each other. We're going to be trying a bit of a Tiki Irish drink tonight. I don't know if it'll work, but we're going to try it. Amy Beer, here, a great Irish story, a great Irish tale here. She took her sister to the Guinness Brewery outside of BWI for St. Patrick's Day one year. It was crazy. What a roller coaster that story was, and we finally got it. Hopefully, we'll be telling that story for generations. It'll be written down, the time. You remember, we'll bring our kids around, we'll sit them down, we'll say, remember the time the old Irish lady, Amy Beer, once took her sister out to BWI. Not sure where that is. Baltimore International? Not exactly sure. There is, of course, Richie the Whiff. Whiff. That's what Irish are all about. The whiff. The smell of the clover. The Irish spring in your nose. The smell of rich. I see the usual amazing crowd is in the house. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the leprechauns coming through and telling us all. The UF Mark, our resident gator. What are gators? Green. It's important today to be a gator. So we're glad to have you. I don't know exactly how many Irish people there are out in Florida, but the UF Mark, clearly one of them today. Paul Bellamaro is here. Paul Bellamaro, if nothing else, looks Irish. If nothing else, got an Irish whiskey collection. Lots of them. The DC Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Cush Tucky Derby. I thought she was late. Apparently, no, I started a bit late today. Started on Irish time today. Not sure if Irish are late or early. Don't know much about Irish. 11% turns out is all I am. Jay Carter, the party starter. Boom, boom, boom. Bow, bow, bow. Don't have that thing up. We'll get it fixed as we get through it. Here we are. This, of course, me father, me pa. It's his birthday today. He's born on the Ides of March. What's more Irish than getting stabbed in the back by your 12 best friends in a Shakespeare play? Almost nothing. I believe the Irish love all things English, and nothing more English than our good friend William Shakespeare, the low-carb cocktail guy. We won't be going low-carb tonight, certainly not. We'll be packing the carbs in through our Guinness and through our pineapple juice and through some lime juice and whatnot, but there we go. Yeah, it's more Scottish than anything. That's shouldn't I technically be Dr. O. Cushman? Technically. Couldn't get the sign made. Couldn't get the sign made quick enough. Here's the lawyer. Oh, I think of lawyers like the Irish. Think of the English. Don't let me know where you're parked, basically. That's what I'm saying. Let's see who else we got in here. 24 people watching right now. How are there only 3 thumbs up? That's a great question there, Amy Beer. Oh, great question. Roger G, this feels like this accent will get you arrested for hate crime in Boston this weekend. Absolutely. That's why we stay out here in Los Angeles, where there are no Irish people. From what I can tell, most people dress up for the holiday, but there aren't that many Irish people. Let's get into it. I'm loving the green light to the bar. Really only had to change one. This one's always green, and this one yellow. What's going on there, Jay Carter, party starter? All right, let's get into it. I wanted to figure this out for once and for all. We had it. I believe we've done this cocktail before on the show, but I've never really gotten it right. So I want to now to take a moment and really figure out, does Jameson float on top of champagne? Sorry. Does Guinness float on top of champagne? or the champagne float on top of Guinness? Which one has more sugar, which is going to make it sink, which is going to give it a greater specific gravity, which is then going to make that one float on top, float on bottom, float all around? Can we even really stack these two things together? I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. So we're going to be making a cocktail called the Black Velvet. Now, Black Velvet is an old Irish cocktail coming out of 1820 something, right around 1820 to 1825, right around there, somewhere in those 1820s. And basically, some royalty died. Oh, it's always sad when the royalty die, unless it's not. Sometimes royalty die. Oh, it's great. What a wonderful day for the royalty to die. But this one was particularly sad. And the idea behind this cocktail was, even on this day when we're all as a country mourning, we're mourning for our royalty, what do? Well, we're going to go ahead and make all of the champagne black, like the clothes we're wearing. Now, my personal opinion, my thought on this is, of course, there's more alcohol going in to the champagne, so I think the champagne should go on top. But I don't know. We're going to find out. The traditional way says, though, that it's going to go champagne on bottom, so we're going to go ahead and find some nice Irish champagne. Oh, crap. We only have California champagne. So we're going to go ahead and put in some California champagne. This is our good friend Cush, who we've certainly taken the piss out of before, but we're going to continue to say the okayest, the most okay version of champagne there ever was and ever will be. We're going to start over here by taking a little bit of the champagne, and we're going to slowly pour it in. Now, it doesn't matter how slowly you pour the first one. The first one's going to settle. Gravity. Our old friend Isaac Newton. Great Irish thinker. I'm almost positive. We're going to go ahead and throw a little bit of this in here. Let gravity do the work. Just until we have a bit of champagne there on the bottom. We're going to try and use less than half of the bottle. Oh, we used about half the bottle. That'll be fine. We're then going to bring in our Guinness. There you are. Hiding from me, trying to get away from me. We're going to slowly start pouring in. Just going to check the watchers now. All right. We've lost almost no one. So the accent clearly not throwing people too far off the beaten trod. We're going to go ahead and crack this guy open. Don't let that fool you. I am still 11% Irish, even though I was unable to open up a bottle of Guinness without spilling a bit. I am still 11% Irish. So now this is what we're going to do. Guinness, in a lot of things, will certainly float on top. But Guinness in other things will certainly float on bottom. I want to see when we're making a black velvet cocktail, exactly how we want to flow this in. So we're going to take this. This is going to be a layered cocktail, sort of like a pousse café. We're going to slowly pour this right down the side here and see what we can do. If we can slowly pour our Guinness, it's going to react. Starting to really turn that champagne into a kind of a mess. I might have to switch to this one. There we go. Slowly is better. Always slow. All right. I believe I have my answer. If I was wondering which side was going to float and which side was going to sink, clearly this now just looks like kind of a light Guinness. So clearly it's the other way around. We probably could have practiced this before the show started, but we weren't ready for that. That wasn't something we were ready for. Instead, here we are. We do have a bit of separation. Let's see, do we have another glass? Kyle, would you mind bringing me another champagne there, lad? Just whenever you can. We're going to try this one more time, see if we can't float the Guinness there in the bottom. See if we can really get the 2-layer effect going for one of these. I think it'd be important for you tomorrow or the next day, the eve of the eve. It depends on when you start your St. Patrick's Day. Do you start it on the eve? Well, truly Irish, you do. The Chicago River already painted green there. So, oh, thank you there, Kyle. Oh, what a good lad you are. Appreciate. Oh, give him the Irish hand jig. Appreciate it. All right, that clearly wasn't the way to go. So we're going to try the other way. We're going to start with our Guinness here on the bottom. Going to pour this nice and slow. Obviously, this is nitrogenated beer, so there's going to be an awful lot of bubbling there on the top. We're going to see, maybe there's a chance that we can figure out how to make this done. All right, we want 2 layers. We have about the same amount of layers there. There we are. All right, let's try it the other way. We're going to go ahead and put our spoon deep into our glass. Hopefully this, actually, why don't we put it right here? See if we can't just get this to float down the side of the spoon. Get a 2-layer effect on our black velvet. Is there any chance that this works? Oh, there's a bit of a separation. There's a bit of separation. It's not much. I don't think that there's probably ever going to be perfect separation. Oh gosh, let's find something that's white, so put it behind. This is a menu. Oh, there we are. Look at that. Look at that. We have a little bit of black there, a little bit of white up here. Not as much over this way. Not exactly sure what happened to this one. But both of them seem to be doing just fine. What's important here, I think, is that we have 2 cocktails now to drink. And that's really the Irish way to do this today. Let's see how we do, if it tastes any different from one to the other. That one tastes like champagne. That one tastes like Guinness. Give them a little stir. Hopefully this is the type of content you're looking for. I'm not exactly sure what my thought was with this cocktail. It's really just pouring one thing into another. But here we are. All right, we have 1 black velvet. We have 2 black velvets. Just about the same black velvet. Almost exactly the same black velvet. Let's give this one a quick little taste again. I think I like this one better. Not a fan of all the foam. Seems like an awful lot of foam going in through this one. All right. Well, we got a cocktail in us. Let's bring in Kyle. Do you want a bit of a black velvet there, my friend? Any chance you'd like a little bit of black velvet? I have one for you. You can choose which one you want. There, Kyle. Don't worry about what one you pick and which one you don't. Come on in. Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to choose a black velvet? This one right here. All right. Taking the one I wanted. There you are. You got it? All right. Well, we'll see you here in just a moment, Kyle, because I want to get into some Irish whiskey. No day more important for drinking Irish whiskey than, of course, St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day, the day that St. Patrick himself chased all of the, was it the Catholics or the Protestants? He chased all the Protestants right out of Ireland. Kept them out there. Ireland is now a Catholic nation. They don't like the Protestants, or maybe they do now. Not really sure. Haven't been back in 44 years. Turns out 43 years old almost. So don't know much about Ireland. But we're going to be tasting some Irish whiskey. Now, what are the notes that we're looking for on Irish whiskey? Well, I'll tell you. Before we get too deep into it, I'll tell you exactly what we're looking for with Irish whiskey. Irish whiskey is going to be very heavily dependent on your grain. All right, so if you have your grain, something like it's going to be a barley grain, a multi-grain, but more importantly, we want to be able to taste the still. The reason that Irish whiskey tastes the way that Irish whiskey does is because of its single still. It's got one big pot still. So we're going to be tasting a lot of grain all the way through this. Now, there's of the same kind of way we look for things within some sort of a bourbon, like you Americans make your bourbons. There's also going to be things to be tasting for in here. We're looking for a bit of dryness inside of a whiskey. We can also look for notes of sweet. We want to find grain, so we want to find things like spice. We want to find things like cereal in here. That's what we're looking for. A really good Irish whiskey should make you want to do a bit of a jig and then dance over the top of a rainbow. Liam Neeson just posted that you must stop this accent or he'll hunt you down wherever you are and do bad things to you. Not exactly shy. I hope that's not true. Don't want to be on the bad side of Liam Neeson. Seems like he's a fairly serious man. We're going to be trying these three. Now, I have them. I have them written down here at the bottom. All right, this is the Kilburn version of it. I'll be very honest with you. I don't know much about the different whiskies. Whiskey is not, the Irish whiskey is not my specialty. So if you're watching this, I doubt you will be. I doubt anybody will ever be watching this ever again. But if you are watching this and you have some tips for me on tasting Irish whiskey, I'd love to hear them. But we're going to start off by pouring out these whiskeys. Now, I'm not going to smell them. Oh, you know what? I probably should. You know what? There's probably no way I can do it without looking at them. We're going to just pour these out. I'm going to do my very best not to look and pour. Just pour these out there. Oh, there we are. Pour that one. Pour this one. This is the proper 12. There we are. And we'll pour our Jameson right in through here. There we are, right there. Oh, Liam Neeson's daughter. I got to return Liam Neeson's daughter. Was Liam Neeson also fighting an Irishman in Ransom? I didn't see it. Not exactly sure. All right. I'm going to push these to the far. And then I'm going to turn around. I'm going to wait for Kyle to come in here. He's going to switch these up. Now, we thought about doing this as a battle box. Obviously, battle box is a great way to do things. However, and here's the big issue with doing the battle box, I don't want to drink straight whiskey from a straw. I'm not ready to have that type of night. I don't think that the eve of St. Patrick's Day is the time to have that kind of night. So I'm going to have Kyle come in here and he's going to start to mix these up. Now, I guess, what do you think, Kyle? Do you think I'll be able to look at the things, or should I do them without looking at them through the? I can probably. I'll turn off the. I'll turn off the this guy right here. So let me just pass this over to here. There you are. And then Kyle, you can go ahead and mix those up. I'll show everybody what they are, so everybody knows which one is which. Kyle's going to get right in here and start to mix and match all of the different whiskeys, put them in a different order so old Cush tender can't tell the difference between them. I'm not positive that I'll be able to even tell you which one is which. It's not really my thing. I don't believe I've ever had proper 12, or have I ever had Kilburn. I've had a lot of Jameson in my life, but not positive I've ever had the other two. So will I be able to tell the difference between the other two, other than the price? My goodness, the price on a bottle of proper 12 is right mad. Quite outrageous. Kyle taking his sweet time, waiting for the mother to come home. One day that cow will come home and Kyle will be done switching up the glasses of whiskey. All right, you're good there. All right, I'm going to turn this up to my head, so I can't. Oh, turn it up there. Oh, right. Oh, that one doesn't work. All right, we're going to put it right here. All right. I can't see exactly what's going on here, so I'm going to just go ahead and minimize this here, so I won't be able to tell you anything that's going on with this entire thing. I see that Kyle Tender has put a mini Cush right there in the 4, so that's wonderful. All right. We have 3 different whiskies here. I can't see the comments, so if you're interested in making a comment that is derogatory of me right now, now would be a great time. I can't see it, so now would be a great time. All right, let's begin. I'll show you which one is which, if that makes sense to you. We'll start. I can't see the screen, so I'll show you this one right here. I'm not going to look. Oh, wait, which button do I push? This one. There, right there. So this one right here. Can you see that? Hopefully. Let's just put it right there. Oh, maybe is that going to be blurry? Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully you see that one. This one right here. In the middle. Can you see that one? Hopefully. Kyle, if they can't see it, you got to tell me, because I can't see my screen. And this one right here, all the way at the end, is this one. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Let's start over here with this one. Clearly the lightest, if we look at all of them. This one certainly has the least amount of color to it. Normally means that this one spent the least amount of time sitting inside of a barrel. Who wants to be sitting inside of a barrel anyway when you have these beautiful Irish days of rain and whatever else is going on in Ireland? We're going to give this one a smell. A lot of big apple in this one. Finding an awful... Kyle, did you switch it out for apple juice? Smells a lot like apple. Hopefully I didn't get an apple version. And are any of these apple versions of something? That one isn't. That one isn't. That one isn't. All right. This one has a lot of apple. A confusing amount of apple. I'm not smelling almost any grain, so we're sort of running into an odd little situation here. We're going to give this one a small sip. Not as much apple in the flavor as there is in the smell. Smells a lot like apple juice. Doesn't taste much like apple juice. Tastes incredibly dry. It's almost drying. It almost makes my tongue want to head on down Spain way, so we can throw a party down in Malaga. Because it is so dry on my tongue. This is an awfully... almost hurts. Do I have to finish the rest of them? Very nice on the nose. Incredibly malic on the nose. We're finding with the sipping, we're really running into kind of not a very smooth whiskey. Certainly not a very smooth whiskey. Irish whiskies known to be somewhat smooth in their flavors. Sometimes they are a little bit grain forward, so we can run into issues. I think this one probably could have spent a couple more years maybe sitting in a barrel. Not exactly sure what happened with that one. Hopefully the rest of them get a little better. Let's go ahead and give this one a sip. Oh, that one. That one smells nice. Let me see if I... Hopefully I've been on the right camera the whole time. Let me see if I can... Is it that one? No. Which one is it? This one. I'll remind you which this one is. Hopefully that all works for you. All right. This one clearly the darkest among the 3. This one has the most color to it. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see if that helps there. Hopefully that's gives you a bit of an idea. This one clearly the lightest. This one clearly the darkest. Maybe spent a little extra time hanging out with the leprechauns and inside of the barrels. Certainly more caramel. Oh boy, do I get a bit of a caramel apple on this one. A bit of the grain. Fighting a bit of the grain, no doubt about it. That's a much smoother whiskey. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, that's a much smoother whiskey. There's almost no drying effect with this one. I'm finding that this whiskey certainly keeps its caramel notes. If I really think about it, I can find that apple in there. This one, a lovely whiskey. It's an easy drinking, nice to be around whiskey. It's like having a mate that you've known since pre-K, that you hang out with when you're. What do Irish people do? Delivering newspapers. Most Irish people deliver newspapers. I assume that's what most Irish people do. That's why they wear those hats. Most people out there deliver newspapers. How does every town in Ireland have everybody deliver newspapers? Well, you deliver to your own home. Make a salary. That would be a way to do it. I really like this one. Doesn't stick with you. That's always the issue we come into with Irish whiskies. They don't stick with you. They sort of find a way to be a wisp on the willow. You have it, you drink it, and then you immediately forget that you had it. I assume that's what they're going for. Oftentimes, the rival to Ireland, Scotland, when they make their Irish, their Scottish whiskey, Scottish whiskey can stay with you for a long time. Irish whiskey, very thin, sort of disappears with it. So don't look for a big finish on this one. But as far as the palate and the not that one. I keep pushing the wrong button. That one. I gotta remember that this one just doesn't work. I'm gonna put something on it so that I remember that one doesn't work. All right. This one right here, delicious. Very nice Irish whiskey. All right, this last one, I'll show you which one it is. Right there. Hopefully that's it understands. I believe that I put what did I put? I put a K for Kilbrin. I believe I put a J for Jameson, and I put a 12 for proper 12. Not sure what this one is, but let's give this one a smell. I was a bit afraid of that. I couldn't smell much. Oh, it's going to knock my accent right out of my head. I couldn't smell much with this one. I could smell an awful lot of ethanol, which normally isn't the thing that we want when we're smelling a whiskey. We want that ethanol to sort of be wrapped up into other things. None of these are overproof, I don't believe. Let me just check the proof on these. Aged 4 years for this one. Where does it say what the ABV is? What, Ireland doesn't have to tell you what the ABV on their whiskey is? That doesn't say me. Oh, there it is. It's in gold. 40%, 40%, and 40%. Each of them coming in at 40%. Wasn't prepared for that. All right, let's give this a smell again. That is not good. I don't mean to pass improper judgment on nothing. And to be completely honest, I am not an Irish whiskey maven. I'm not someone that knows that much about Irish whiskey. So maybe my opinion doesn't mean a hill of beans in this crazy world. but I do not like that one. That one is certainly my least favorite. I'm going to go back to this one, see if we can't figure out. I think I have an idea of this one right here. Or a reminder, which one I'm showing you here. Shoot, did I push the wrong one again? What am I on? Okay, let's go back to the beginning. We'll start here. All right. This is this first one that we're trying. After having this one's a bit soapy. It tastes a bit of soap. It tastes a bit perfumey. There. This one tastes like absolute ethanol. It tastes like there's nothing proper in there. Seems like what they were trying to do was maybe cheap out on some of the ingredients and find a way to make a bunch of liquor, a bunch of ethanol without using the good stuff. Because really, all I'm tasting here is a lot of nada, a lot of garbage. Go back to this one, see if I can't. Oh no, that's a good one. All right. This one's thrown me off. All right, let's see if we can do this. All right, I'm going to take it. So this is the order that I like them in. All right. I think this is the best one. Let me bring it back to. So hard not to be able to look at the screen. I don't think I'm on the green screen. All right. This is this one. That's the one I like the most. This is the one I like the second most. And this is the one I like the third most. In fact, I don't like that one. Let's put them in a proper order. Now, price-wise, the proper 12 is the most expensive. Proper 12 comes with what the other two don't come with, which is a celebrity endorsement. They tried to find the most famous Irish person that they could of all time. And what did they do? They found Conor McGregor. Now, all right, we're going to do the one we know first. I think that I have a feeling right here that this one has to be Jameson. Jameson is the highest selling, the most selling Irish whiskey in all the world. More Jameson sold in Ireland, outside of Ireland, and even inside of Ireland. It's absolutely a monster when it comes to Irish whiskey. For a reason, it's an incredibly smooth Irish whiskey. Now, here's the problem I'm running into. I've never had the other two, so I have no idea what is which. Kilburn, I'll give you the price breakdown. For these little bottles, right? For these little bottles, this bottle of Jameson it came in at $2.99 or £2.99. Do the Irish do pounds? This one, the Kilburn, came in at $1.99, and this one came in at $3.99. $3.99 for 50 milliliters of liquor. You imagine something like that. So, if we, by the proper law of making things bigger, this is twice as expensive as this. Sorry, this is twice as expensive as this. And this one, the Kilburn, it comes in a glass bottle. This one's plastic. Oh, I'm in some trouble here. When I was working in bars, euros, they use euros. When I was working in bars, I remember that people would always come in and ask me, Cush, have you tried the proper 12? What do you think of it? And I would always have to say, I'd never tried the proper 12. Oh my goodness, what to do? My initial thought would, of course, be to say that the Kilburn is going to be cheaping out on their ingredients, and that means that the proper 12 here would be this one. That would be my thought. That would make the Kilburn the one that I like the least, the proper 12 the one that I like the second most, and then the Jameson the one that I like the most. Now I'm almost positive on Jameson. If I'm wrong on Jameson, I'm wrong on all of them. That's the way I think it is. Let me taste one more time. Let me just. I feel like I could ruin it today. Is Kilburn the worst? Or is there a chance that I'm lost? I'm absolutely lost on this one. I think I'll lock it in. I think I'll lock it in. Let me. Can I cheat a little? I'm not going to try and cheat. I was going to try and smell the bottles and see if I could match the smell, but I don't know. Yeah, just going on price alone, just going on exactly how much each of these lost the accent. Forget me lucky charms. Oh, for the price of each of these, I would have to say, or would Conor McGregor's company, just because it's his company, would they put in inferior products and then charge more? Oh. Make sure I got Jameson one more time. That's Jameson. That's Jameson. Oh, it's so bad. Just checking the bottles to make sure that rich and smooth, triple distilled Irish whiskey, bottled in Ireland. All right. 4 years. Never tried either of them. Approved by Aaron O'Reilly. All right, I'm gonna lock it in. This is what I think it is. I think that it's this is my. If I'm wrong about these two, then Proper 12 has an awful lot of explaining to do, because they put out easily one of the worst whiskeys that I've ever tried. I don't know much about Kilburn other than the fact that it is the cheapest one. So let's bring everybody back into it. And oh, darn, I've been stumped. Oh, that is a heartbreaker. On the eve of St. Patrick's Day, old Dr. Cush was stumped. Did I mix these two up? Darn it. That is a horrible way to break a streak. To break the streak on something that I don't know that much about. Let's see how we did. Let me check the bottom of these. Oh, you son of a bitch. All right. So the Proper 12 was not this one. That was this one right here. So the Proper 12, I don't know. So this is the Kilburn. Honestly, for a cheaper Irish whiskey, I find this one to be somewhat delightful. A lot of apple in the nose, not a lot going on the palate. It's a fine Irish whiskey. Put it over a bit of a rock, and you'll find yourself in an Irish little paradise. Now, let me just check this one, hoping upon hope that this is the Jameson. Otherwise, I have some things to say to Jameson. All right. I was right about Jameson, at least. I got Jameson right. This crap, then. This. I don't mean to do a PSA on here. This is awful. Has this been blurry the whole time, guys? Kyle, you can always tell me if it's blurry. There. Oh yeah, look at that. Way better. Proper 12? Proper 12. Proper 12 is horrible. This is gross. There's nothing that I like at all about Proper 12. Proper 12, as far as Irish whiskey goes, it doesn't taste much like Proper 12. It doesn't taste much like really anything. Oh, sorry about that, Kyle. Kyle's doing a lot out there. Couldn't tell me that it was that's all right. No worries. Knocked out by the Connor lads. Proper disgrace of a beverage. Yeah, honestly, I'm not. I'm really not sure exactly how this Irish whiskey even gets made. It really is proper awful. That's what they should call it. Proper 12 is proper awful. There really isn't anything redeeming about this. I know that it's more expensive than most of the other Irish whiskies, or at least for the base level. This is a horrible whiskey. As far as I'm concerned. So now the next time somebody comes up and says, "Hey, Cush, what do you think of that Proper 12, lad?" I'll say, here's the deal. Not only did it lose me my streak on my show, which was very important to me, I wasn't about to do this, but we did lose the streak. I am now completely an infallible a fallible person, a real human. Not only did that happen, but also it's awful. I thought it was the cheap whiskey. It was good. Good news. Bono just posted he's enjoying the accent and he'll call off Liam. We'll get done. Well done, my son. That's perfect. All right. Well, if Bono says it, then I suppose that's the right thing to do. All right. Well, that's something to learn. That this was horrible. Horrible. I'm going to say it in my real accent. Proper 12 is a horrible Irish whiskey. It's even the odor coming off of it, it just doesn't smell like anything. I had to clear my nose to make sure I could smell a thing. It smells, there's no caramel, there's no apple, there's no grain. It's all ethanol. It's gross. Oh, I hate it. I absolutely hate you. You're getting thrown away. A waste of $4, I would say. All right. I want to make a quick cocktail real quick for the Irish tiki people. People are now, for some reason, rating Roadhouse 2 in the chat. I'm not exactly sure. It was Conor McGregor in Roadhouse. I didn't see any of the Roadhouses. I haven't even seen the Patrick Swayze one. Probably about time that I pop over and watch a Roadhouse, but not 2 because it was so bad. We're going to follow the same thing that we did the other day. I feel like I want to see how far we can stretch out our version of the Planter's Punch by taking things that are a bit bitter and moving them in. Proper 12 is known to be putrid. Gosh, I wish I would have known that because I would have found the putrid one and called that one 12. Right now, I'm sitting on feeling like Tom Brady that year they lost to the Giants. I'm looking at 18-1 right now. I'll never get back to 100%. Hopefully, I don't lose all of your trust and support. I was able to find Jameson. I want to find a way to make a cocktail that is perfect for tiki. I'll put it in here. Perfect for tiki by making a cocktail that is a punch. We're calling that Roadhouse 2 face. Just the face that I made. Pretty gross. Oh, maybe that face. Maybe that puking face. All right, let's get into it. I want to start off by finding a rum to put in here. We're going to be using less of a bitter. The only bitter we're putting in here is going to be Guinness. Now, is Guinness particularly a bitter? It is not. So we can use sort of a lighter rum. And in honor of my father's birthday, I don't often do this, but we're going to be bringing out his favorite rum. That is Zacapa. If you've never had Zacapa, oh gosh, we're clearly been putting a bit of a dent in Zacapa over the years. Zacapa is a very nice rum coming out of where is it coming out of? Virgin sugar. Where's this coming out of, Father? I'm not exactly sure where this one comes out of. Does it say on the bottle? Oh, Guatemala. The famous island of Guatemala for making rum. We're going to be making this with some Zacapa. We're going to be following exactly the same recipe that we did the other day. I just want to see how far we can actually stretch this new version of a Planter's Punch cocktail. So we're going to start off with 1 ounce of some of our rum. So 1 ounce of Guatemalan rum, Zacapa 23 if you have it. If you want to make it like me. If not, I completely understand. Make it something else. There we are. We find ourselves needing just a bit of lime. Last time we wanted a little bit less lime. I feel like this time we're going to want a bit of more lime. So we're going to go ahead and put in 3/4 of an ounce of some lime here. We want to put in just a bit of sugar. If we can, a spoonful of sugar, as Mary Poppins says, makes the rest of the cocktail go down. So that's what we're looking for. What have I done with my sugar? What have I done with it? Oh my goodness, have I lost my sugar? One moment, please. I've got to just find the sugar. Oh, I don't have any sugar. All right, well, we'll have to put something else in here then. Let's find a bit of, what else is sweet in here? Not ginger. How about a bit of cinnamon syrup? A bit of cinnamon syrup never hurt anyone. We're going to put in 1/2 ounce of some cinnamon syrup there. There we are. Doing great. We're going to put in a bit of our pineapple juice. Did I bring that out or did I put it down here? I know I have pineapple juice. There it is. We're going to go ahead and put in about 1 ounce of some pineapple juice. That's 1, 2, 3. That's what we're looking for. We're going to go ahead and give this a bit of a shake. We have some shaken ice to drop in. Excellent. Move this off to the side. The UF Mark brings up an incredible point. Modelo should sponsor me. Modelo should sponsor me. You think I drink cocktails pretty well? You should see me drink Modelo. I certainly do love a good Modelo in the morning. I love a good Modelo in the evening. And then I like to take the bottles and I like to make all of my syrups in them. We're going to put a bit of ice into here. I just want to see if it works. For the Irish, hopefully we, with a bit of the luck, we can find a way to make this work. We're going to go ahead and pour this right in through here. Everybody out. There we go. Now, the last time we made this, instead of putting in any type of beer, we instead put in some of our Amaro. Today, we're not going to be doing that. Today, instead, we're going to be putting in some beer. I want to see how it works. I'm going to start with 1 ounce of beer, see if we can't make this work. Now, we had some problems earlier. Do you think we can get this one to float? Let's find out. We certainly can. So now we have a floated beer right on top of our cocktail. I feel like we'll probably need just a touch more of the beer. So we're going to be putting in another half. Just by looking at it, I can tell that the beer isn't going to be making much of a difference with everything else we got in there. So let's go ahead and pour in another 1/2 ounce of our beer. Oh, there we are. And there we go. Let's put this onto our little spinner. I just realized why the spinner's so bright these days. We lost our... Oh my goodness. It's almost too bright, eh? That should do. We have a two-tone cocktail there. We have some rum, we have some pineapple, we have some lime juice, we have a bit of sugar. We've built more or less a planter's punch, and then we've bittered it with our beer. Guinness, not the most bitter beer of all time, but certainly not an unbitter beer. And that is what we're going to have to find a way to knock that light down a bit, because my god, oh, there we are. Oh, what a drink there. A beautiful green drink. Not made by, oh, there we are. Not made green by anything other than the brightest light I could possibly find for a drink spinner. Let's see how we did. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's delicious. I really do. I think it's. I finding a recipe that works for just about everything. You'll find that a lot of great bartenders will just find one recipe and start plugging everything in. They'll find a way to, you find people like. I'm not going to start calling people out, but really find people that are going to, they make one cocktail and they make it really well. And then what they do is they start taking one part of that cocktail, taking it out and putting everything back in. I feel like the pineapple, the lime, the sugar, and the rum, then finding any type of bitter and plugging it right in there, you have yourself an absolute ball of a time, a blast, with the wind to your back and your friends always forward and the circle of the whatever, the Celtic circle. I don't know how the Irish do it, but that is what we have right there. I think it's lovely. Let me see if I can get Kyle to yell at me. Kyle, do you want to come in and try the cocktail? Kyle, you're interested in trying a cocktail? I happen to know this about Kyle, and I'll tell you this, and I don't believe I'm breaking confidence. Kyle loves Guinness. One of Kyle's favorite beers is Guinness. Now, I don't know exactly what Kyle's last name is. Tender, I believe. I don't know if Kyle Tender is an Irish name or what, but there you are, pal. There's going to be a little Guinness there on top. Give that a little taste, and you should be going well. Paul's putting in another great Irish cocktail, 2 ounces of Irish whiskey. Now, technically, the Carmen's kick there, Paul, should be 1 ounce of Irish whiskey. Am I getting that back? I'm not getting that back. All right. I'll drink this. Or you can have that one. All right. Technically, there, Paul, the Carmen's Kick should have 1 1.25 ounces of Irish and 3/4 of an ounce of Scottish whiskey. It's one of the only whiskey cocktails that I know of that mixes 2 different types of whiskey. That's the reason that I know that one by off the top of my head. But that's a great cocktail. So hopefully you all are trying that today. All right, we've done it. We've been through another Irish show. The accent came, the accent went. We found out one very important thing, and that is proper 12 is proper rubbish. I have to say out loud, I do believe that proper 12 is the worst Irish whiskey that I've ever had. Please don't tell Conor McGregor. I really am not looking to get into a fight with Conor McGregor over his Irish whiskey. It's not for me. I'm not an Irish whiskey drinker to begin with, so what do I know? But I do have a bit of a taste for things, and he finally took me from undefeated into the mortal category, and no longer will I be able to say, old Dr. Cush is the greatest there ever was at tasting things, because I've lost one. But we'll be back. And we will keep tasting things here, regardless of whether I'm perfect or not. Sometimes we learn more by being imperfect. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back here on, let me just check my calendar real quick, see if everything I'm about to say is the exact truth. Absolutely. We will be back here, no doubt about it. We'll be back here on Tuesday for Tiki Tuesday, where we will be making tiki cocktails. And then we will be back here Thursday for just hanging out and doing whatever it is, and then Saturday we're trying to get our tequila guests on here. Who knew it would be so hard to get tequila guests on here, but can't do it. Certainly one of the worst whiskeys, period. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you there, Tiki Tom. I feel like the The entire bit of Proper 12 is rather disgusting, and I don't want it part of me life anymore. I'm incredibly happy that I only bought the small bottle. I want to say a very, very happy birthday to my dad. For those of you who don't know, let's just bring this up, see if we can get this to work. Nope, can't get it to work that time. We'll just try one more time. Give me a minute. It's worth it.
My father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
It's not exactly true, but certainly my father has been a very helpful person in me journey here. So I want to thank him, and a very happy 70th birthday. He turned 70 years old today. Hopefully he doesn't mind me telling you that, but that is exactly how old he turned. He turned it on the Ides of March. So a very happy birthday to Glenn. So thank you so much for showing up here to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. Remember, these classes will always remain free, but if you can't help out, there's a couple ways you can do it. We have a Patreon, we have a PayPal, and we have a Venmo. Those are financial ways you can do it. I understand that these are financial hard times. We're in financial hard times here at the bar, and I know the rest of the world is in somewhat of financial hard times right now. So if you can't do that, how about instead we just all get together and support each other? Maybe try and grow our community. If you have somebody that you think might like a cocktail show where they can ask live questions and I can answer the best, and we can group source all of our answers, I think that you suggest this show. Tell them about Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks and all the fun stuff that we do. And if you can't do that, you don't want any of your friends, you got scumbag friends, you don't want them hanging around, the best way that you can help is by showing up. We do classes here most of the time, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, where we just have a bit of a cocktail party and hang out. Oh, hello, Forlorn. I was hoping you'd show up. I wanted to say Forlorn in an Irish accent. Forlorn. It's kind of a fun way to do it. All right, thank you so much for showing up. We'll be back here on a Tuesday for Tiki Tuesday. Until then, may the wind forever be at your back. May the hills always rise to meet you, and however else that poem goes. Ta-ta for now. In the words of a great Irishman.
Are you Dr. Jinga Janga?
Goodbye.
Bye!